Hey guys, it's been a minute. Happy 2025. I didn't prepare for this video at all. We all go through things, and I want to make sure that people know that they're not alone. So, I'm just going to show you my fireplace because I look like crap, and it's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter, but it's just nicer to look at, or my dog's butt. We've all been through a lot of shit. We've all been through stuff, right? I mean, I had trauma all the way growing up, all the way through until very recently, in fact. And many of you were there with me for the trauma of the Nova Scotia massacre and the subsequent cover up. And I will never be able to repay all of you for having been there for me and with me during that time. There's nothing ever, there's no words could ever say what that did for me. And, you know, obviously Seamus, who brought us all together, and there are no words. There really aren't. And it's been, 5 years coming up, and we have to get over stuff. We have to get over stuff, because if we don't, then we're stuck with all that stuff, and we only get one life. And healing is so important, and no one can do it for us. That's the shitty fucking thing about taking responsibility for your actions, is that you're the one who gets the congratulations when you do things, but you're also the one who has to give your head a shake and fucking step up and heal and get better so that you don't waste your life. Because you can get caught up in the sadness and the grief of the things that absolutely warrant you getting caught up in them, which is why we do, right? It's so sorrow-filled, and regardless, like, did you grow up in a household where both parents were working and you were either home by yourself or with a babysitter, or worse things have happened, right? I mean, that's a pretty bad thing, to come home to an empty house. Or maybe you had a single parent who was working all the time and they loved you, but they weren't around because they had to pay for bills. Or you had parents who were alcoholics or drug addicts, or had died or abused you in so many ways, right? Did you have a family member who, was in an accident when there's so many things. Like, the list goes on. Were you bullied in school? Did you have acne? Did you get your period really early? Did you have boobs and everyone called you a slut? Did you move around so many times that you never were able to make friends? Or, there's just so many things that everybody goes through. Did you witness your parents being abused? Or, I could go on. We all have trauma. All of us. And the only way to heal the world is to heal ourselves. Like, so many people are, well, let's go and do these things to help other people. And don't get me wrong, like, helping other people really does help. Like, I've been going through some health problems lately, and it was all I could do to go and volunteer over at my community hall. They're making food for the community fridge, and it was awesome. I felt like shit when I left, and I had every excuse in the world to not go, but then I went. And it was so much fun, and all the people, and I got to see all their energy, and I met some new people. I met this new guy. He's so fucking funny. Anyway, his partner is part of our community, and he is so hysterical. I feel like the universe was like, dude, you need to get the fuck out of the house. I have a friend right now who's in the hospital on doing dialysis. We all have shit, and we only have so much time. And if we spend it not healing, then we spend it suffering, and fuck, it could end. Right? Your time here could be over anytime. Anytime. So you really have to make sure that you're doing everything you can with it. Yeah. So the reason for me saying this is because I have been on a healing journey, and since 2023, the January of 2023, New Year's, I made a promise to myself that I was going to find out what was ailing me, what really my traumas were, what were my problems, and do everything I could to fix them. And um, that's what I've been doing. Other things have come up. I mean, I obviously had mental health problems and trauma, CPTSD, which I didn't even know was a thing. That journey was something, and it is like you're never healed, right? Every day you're trying, and I have such bad anxiety that I was talking about Portapic with somebody the other day, and I was shaking so bad you could see it, like I was just absolutely vibrating. So I mean, I have a lot of anxiety and trauma and insecurities and all the things that are not what you want for a regulated nervous system. Like having an irregulated nervous system can cause you not only mental health problems but actually physical health problems. Your adrenal glands run out of adrenaline, and so then you're running on depleted. I mean, I even take adrenal plex. I always want to call it adrenochrome, but it's not. I take adrenal plex in order to adrenalize. I don't know the word there, but I mean, I'm not trying to give you medical advice. Everybody needs their own thing, but we all need to heal our trauma, and absolutely helping other people and volunteering and things like that is going to help you, as well as helping the people that you're helping. It's gonna just be a huge yin and yang of helping and good things that come about, good energy, and everything is energy. It's not a hippy dippy thing, it's a real thing. I'm just now starting to learn about chakras because up until like just now, when I'm desperate with a health problem, that I'm like, I've rolled my eyes at this shit my whole life, and now I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. I've just learned about my root chakra, which I didn't even know was a thing, and it does appear to actually be a thing. So, you do get to a point where you're wanting to heal yourself, and then you have the journey. So my first year I spent trying to figure out myself because I don't have any money. So everything was YouTube and trying to figure it out. And I learned that finding out what your attachment style is a big friggin' deal. Big deal, capital big deal. Underscore, highlight, all the things. If you don't know what your attachment style is, in my not university educated opinion, but as my own, like once I figured out my attachment style, then I wasn't all healing, but I was like, oh, like a light bulb went on. It went on, and then you dig into the attachment style and why you are the way that you are and why you do the things you do. Hang on. Well, I did pause it so I could deal with the dogs, but it's too bad I did that because it certainly illustrates what needs to happen with dogs. Scarlet, chill. This is my dog, and she had to learn the chill because she does not chill. Good chill, girl. Even when she's in this position with her head down, you can see that her eyes are not relaxed. She is poised to just pounce at any moment. And when you have 3 dogs, Scarlet, chill. Good girl, stay. When you have 3 dogs, 3 big breeds of dogs, you have to make sure that everybody listens and everybody knows the commands. And George is the sweetest dog, and she never causes any problems. And Ted is a good boy too, but he's neutered, and so the biggest problem in the pack, or Scarlet, chill, is little Miss here who has high prey drive, high food drive, high work drive, high energy. This is a working line Rottweiler as opposed to a laying on the couch line. This guy right here is, this dog is smart. She's really smart and she's awesome and I love her, but it's like somebody took a Belgian Malinois and gave it a can of Red Bull and put all that energy into this Rottweiler who can just work and run and learn and all the things all day and just she just wants to work. She really belongs with like an investigative RCMP team or like military or something. She is a workaholic. And with a dog like that, and she also doesn't back down. Like she's I'm guessing like a military line. She does not back down. Even when she was a little puppy and she tried to take food from my pit bull and he snapped at her and she was like, oh no, like I'll go you right now. And I was like, holy shit. And he was like, holy shit. So this is not a dog that backs down. So I have to make sure that I'm the boss. I don't hurt the dog. She doesn't have an e-collar on, but she knows commands because I've trained her. And if you don't have that, then this is kind of not the dog for you. Anyway, had to deal with that because life pops up when it does. I'm not exactly sure where I was going, but the attachment style is a really important thing to know about yourself. It is determined for you by your environment. I believe it's by the time you're 2. But definitely by the time you're 5. Like if you've gone through, and you'll have to look it up, like do all the research, find out your attachment style. There's 4, and one of them is a secured attachment style, which really is what we should all be striving for. So you can't fix a problem that you don't know you have. So as soon as you're ready, willing, and able to be like, okay, it's not all my parents' fault anymore, and even if it is all their fault, it's still my problem. It might not be my fault, but it is my problem, and yours is the only life that's going to be affected. Actually, that's not true, because everyone around you is going to be affected. Anyone who loves you will be affected by your inability to heal from the shit you've been through. So it's not true that what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. What is true is what you heal from. The healing process makes you stronger. Because there are people who've been through some shit and they're not strong. Not even at all, right? We all have seen them. We all know. We all know people. So you got to heal from this shit to move on, especially if you have kids. If you don't have kids, like, do what you want to do, but you're still going to waste your life if you don't heal. But if you have kids, you owe it to those children to break at least some generational cycles. And I know for sure that I have done that. There's no question at all. With that said, my kid's been through trauma, right? She was through the Porta-Pick thing, and trauma is epigenetic, which means that the memories are stored in your actual cells. So if you consider for a moment that while your grandmother was pregnant with your mother had all the eggs in her body that she was ever going to have. So in that sense, while your grandmother was pregnant with your mother had you inside of her as an egg. Any trauma that your grandma went through or your mom, that all is done to you at the cellular level. Like, it sounds so fucking weird, and I don't recommend this. Everyone has to do what they want to do, but I have been trying to figure out some of my health stuff and mental health stuff for a long time. And the other couple weeks ago, I came to a point where I was so desperate that I took some mushrooms to try to figure out like what is going on internally with my health. And it came to me that my cellular level, if you've ever done mushrooms, you know what I mean, like where you could just really lay there and feel and hone in on the feelings of your body. I could feel that at the cellular level, even laying in my bed, knowing that I'm safe, knowing that I'm fine, I couldn't relax. My cells could not relax at the molecular level, and I was like, holy fuck, what is that about? So that was the first time when I looked it up, because I do the research, I have questions. It turns out that it's a part of ADHD. So people have been telling me I have ADHD for a really long time, including my therapist, and I was like, nope, fuck that shit. Just you need to focus. But it's it's a really big problem, and places like Facebook and TikTok and YouTube, it all just feeds into your ADHD. ADHD one of the things, and I'm learning as I go, so this is by no means a complete list. This is legitimately just what I've learned in the last few weeks from having done this mushroom thing. That ADHD is, there's an effect on your neurotransmitter called dopamine, right? So as a result of that, you get a dopamine hit when your body gets excited, right? It's your fight or flight hormone. And so when you click a like on a Facebook or you make a comment where other people are going to see it, you get confirmation of those people that you have value, and you get a dopamine hit. And I didn't know that. I've heard it. It's something to really to hear it, but when you're in an altered state with having done mushrooms and things of that nature, you're really able to see it from a hands-on tactical perspective where, like, even when I came to the realization that I got to get off Facebook and not do that, my immediate reaction was to phone my friend and tell her what I had just discovered, which that in itself is a dopamine hit, right? Phoning my friend so I can hear her say, wow. Like, you know what I mean? It's Facebook before there was Facebook. There was just gossip and chit chat, and not that there's specifically something wrong with that, but instead of reactively calling someone looking for the dopamine hit, you need to just chill. Like, anyway, there's just so many things, and I've made so many videos and I have not put them up, and I don't know why. And hopefully I decide to put this one up. Actually, I'm going to put this one up right after I make it, because I need to make these videos. I want people to understand that we are all going through shit. We are all, either our personal selves or our family and friends or pets around us, are all going through things. And we all, like, there are stages, and I need to look this up because lately, like, I've been in and out of the hospital since Thanksgiving, and I'm only in the last few days starting to feel a little bit like maybe I'm having a shift, but it's still, there's things going on. And I just am sitting here. I have watched so many movies, and I'm not even a sitting guy. Like, if there's a movie playing in the background, I'm usually doing dishes or cleaning up because I can't sit still. The ADHD is like, I cannot sit still. The worst thing you can ask me to do is just sit there and breathe, which is probably the thing I need to do the most, would be like meditate and that sort of thing. Because when I did do the mushrooms, I put on some nice relaxing meditation music and just like stretched and meditated, and I did feel that I liked the energy from it, but I don't do it well. I don't sit well, not at all. So we all have things that we have to work on, but it's only to our benefit and the benefit of the people we love to actually work on those things. Staying in your grief and your trauma is only going to make you physically actually sick in your health, in your mental health, and in your body. Your body can't take the negative feelings and low frequency, low vibrations. And it does. It, even when I say it, it sounds fucking hippy dippy and new age, and that's not what I'm trying to, because I believe in God. I really do. We're not, that's a whole other conversation. Explain everything in the whole wide world to me. We were just watching TV the other day and we saw this great huge, well, I don't know what kind, orangutan with huge teeth, I think. It looks like a gorilla, but with great big teeth. And I thought, if evolution was really a thing, those fucking guys would have killed us. Their teeth are as long as my arm, and they're, like, don't tell me we came from apes, because those apes would have killed everyone, and they would be running shit by now. So, like, I can't say how it happened, but I just can't believe in evolution. I just can't believe it. So maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. I'm agnostic. I am open and willing to listen to all conversations. Which, that always brings me to the Palestine-Israel thing. those Palestinians have been under terror since the 40s, like 48 or something, I think. Israel has cut off their water supply, cut off their food supply, has been like ethnically cleansing them from what I've never been to Palestine, I've never been to Israel. But from what I'm looking at, like, Israel is not the guy you want to be supporting. Really, there is no Judeo-Christianity. There's not. There's not. They don't want us. We are Gentiles. We are Goy, I think they call us, which means we are slaves. There's no... yeah, and there's just so much to these people. For generations, these people have been born under absolute terror and torture and trauma and death. After, like, how long should it take for them to enlist the help of an actual terrorist organization? This should tell you how bad they are. They've been under siege for how long, and they haven't made any headway into Israel. And I don't think they should, war is so terrible. It's a way for the rich people to make money and kill off the population. I don't think anybody who is at war wouldn't rather just say, you know what, let's just go home to everybody. And I don't think we should be funding any wars. Canada's not at war. We need to fortify our own military so nobody will fuck with us and strengthen our borders. And in that sense, join with the Trump people. I'm not a Trump fan, but you have to admit that some of his policies seem to be logical, right? Strengthen your borders, get rid of criminals. Like, there's only 2 genders. Like, the basics of, like, grade 2. If you ask any grade 2, what do you want? Like, just everyone to be friends. And how many genders are there? 2. Unless they're public school, and then you have to get them before they go there. You know, it's crazy. It's just crazy that the basic common sense of secure your borders, keep your citizens safe, support the economy in your own country, and deport any immigrants from anywhere that are not following the laws and showing the utmost respect to the country that's allowed them to come there. This seems like basic fucking common sense. So, I don't know. Trump's an Israel guy, so, like, I don't trust him. In that sense, I also know enough about politics to know that nobody gets anywhere in politics without help along the way, and Trump certainly has help along the way. And even, like, here in Canada, I know Trump doesn't affect our, I guess, like, he kind of does, but even here, like, people are all about Pierre Poilievre. Really? That dude's soft. And he's Jew, and I don't know if he's actually Jewish. I think he is. But he certainly supports Israel, no question. And I don't think that's okay. Meanwhile, we've imported the fucking Middle East and put them all on welfare and allowed them to carry on with all of their cultural things like several wives and several children, and everybody's on fucking welfare. So when the conflict comes, which it's going to, I'm out in the country and small town, but my understanding is that there's already been problems in Toronto and, you know, big cities with the conflict between Israel and Palestine in the streets, because we have both of those people here. We have both of those people here. And, like, we gotta cut off funding for all the wars. If we're gonna fund wars, we can't bring the people here. That's, like, oh my God. It's so brutal. Almost like it was done on purpose. Note the sarcasm. Anyway, the healing has to begin in your own house with your own self and your own mental and physical health. Try to keep moving, because people who don't move, eventually you die. Like, that's what keeps me moving, is that I'm scared to fall asleep and not wake up. So just stay moving. But like I was saying, or maybe I didn't say, but I thought, right now I'm going through a period of just like I don't want to do anything. And I feel like I feel like I should allow myself the permission to not do anything. But at the same time, my inner voice is like, dude, you're not doing anything. Like nothing's getting done. With that said, I could putter all day and you'd never know I did a goddamn thing around here because I have ADHD and it doesn't matter how much I clean, nothing is clean ever. I wish that I could handle the clutter and the cleanliness and all the things that, well, even my child, I will say, can you clean off the counter? And within, like, by the time I come out of the bathroom, the counter's clean. And I'm like, how? How did you do that? Where, what? And it doesn't compute in my mind how to make that happen so efficiently. Like, the mind boggles. That actually happened. The counter was a mess. I asked for help. I came out of the bathroom and it was clean and I was like, holy crap. Like that's awesome. Just what a great, gift, I guess. I don't know. I think it's cool. So if you're one of those people who just has a clean, tidy house, don't do that thing when people come over and be like, oh, my house is a mess. Because some of our houses actually are a mess. And it doesn't matter what we do to clean them. Like, if your house is just neat and tidy and you know that it is, don't use that phrase on people. Because then they feel even worse because they're like, oh my God, your house is so clean. Right? Just ignore the whole topic. Just assume that it is what it is. You don't have to comment on it. I don't know where that came from. I guess at this point I'm just rambling. I have seen some pretty fucked up movies lately. So depending on how far down these black hole rabbit holes people are going into, movies are predictive programming. Movies are put in such a way that when you tell somebody that things are really going on, sorry, I'm not paying attention to my screen. When you tell somebody that some things are really going on, they'll go, that's nonsense. You saw that in a movie. It's not really true. It is really true. I don't know if you guys saw this movie, Surviving the Game. I think it was Ice-T, if I remember correctly. It was a really long time ago. And these white hunters, rich people, took this black guy, Ice-T, out to the middle of this hunting island and fucking hunted him. And we know from Predator class survivors that this is a thing called the most dangerous game. Like Kathy O'Brien talks about it. Tons of survivors talk about it. This is not Kathy O'Brien, blah, blah, blah. I believe her story. I do. There is a bit of a question mark there because I have questions, but that doesn't mean her story isn't true. And the list goes on. Like once you hear Kathy O'Brien and then you look at Noreen Gosh's story, like the list just goes on of terrible, awful things that people are doing to these kids. So then, and you hear about, we know about islands. Right? We know there are islands. We know there are islands where people do shitty ass things to people that they can get a hold of. We know this. At this point, if you're not awake enough to see this, you need to really check the level of fluoride that you're ingesting. If you're on town, and I'm not being, I think the word is facetious. It might not be. I'm not being that. I am straight up saying, dude, like, get off the fluoride toothpaste, get off the fucking town water, because you're not seeing shit. We have Epstein Island. We have islands upon islands. I mean, Epstein has an island. Zuckerberg has an island, my understanding is. These people have islands. And you can buy islands. Like, when I moved to Nova Scotia, you could buy an island for, like, $700,000. That came with a boat to get you there. So, it's not outside the realm of possibilities, and it's clear at this point that it's a fucking real thing. So then you have this show called Squid Game. And if you haven't watched it, I don't even know how to describe it other than to say if you know that this shit's going on, you can see the fact that this is predictive programming. And it's that, maybe, I don't know if that falls under the same umbrella as predictive programming, but that thing where you tell people they really do have islands where they hunt people or where these games go on. And people be like, that's just stupid. You saw that on TV, right? So that you can be dismissed. And this is how it keeps going, right? This is how it keeps going. So you have Squid Game, which is just fucked. I watched and I mean, I don't recommend binge watching anything, especially when the vibration of it is so low and it's so bad. And the acting is so bad. It's like Dexter is as bad. The acting is as bad as Dexter, but it's all done in like Korean, so it's all English voiceover. So it's bad, but for me, I couldn't stop watching it. And then, what did I just watch? See, like, and it's not like me to just sit here and binge watch stuff. I really don't do that. Sometimes I do, usually when it's summertime and I have the time and I just pick a show and watch it. But there was another movie that I just watched today. And it's totally gone from my brain. It was, oh my gosh, it will come to me. But it was the same premise of people doing things that anybody who's looked into it knows that they do. But they put into movies so that it's right in front of your face, so that when somebody actually tells you that it's happened to them, not only has your brain seen it before, so you're not shocked, so you're not reactive, which is how you can see people on subways getting stabbed and everybody stands around and watches. Because you've seen this before and you're expecting it to play out like a movie, because your subconscious doesn't know the difference between movies and TV and reality. It really doesn't. It's just absolutely unbelievable. It's really bugging me that I can't think of the name of the movie that I just watched. I had to pause and find out the movie. It was called Blink Twice. Whoo! Wow! Right? Again, with the islands. Like, you guys have to really pay attention to the things they're trying to tell us. You really do. And then Speak No Evil, I started watching it and I can't. Like, it's making me sick to my stomach. I'm not really sure what's going on inside my brain that's making me want to watch this stuff, or what's making me just want to watch movies in general. I try watching funny movies, and some of the movies are funny, and I like that. I've been watching Mission Impossible movies. I only recently started liking Tom Cruise. I know he's fucked, but they're all fucked, and I haven't heard about him on any islands, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on in Hollywood. I really couldn't say for sure, but I know that it's not helping us. Anything that's going on in Hollywood is not helping anybody who's like just hanging around trying to live their life. And watching the crap that I've been watching is not helping. It's not helping. You know what is funny though? Selena Gomez crying over President Trump. That makes me laugh. It makes me, you guys are so funny. Those videos are funny. If for no other reason, this dude should be elected just to watch these leftards go off. It's so funny. Right? They can't even acknowledge any of the good things that the guy has done. Right? Find me another president in history who donated his paycheck to organizations. Maybe there is one, I don't know. But he did do that. Even if there is somebody else who did it, he also did it. I can tell you right now, Trudeau's not donating any of his paycheck to anybody. Right? I'd be pretty shocked to find out that Joe Biden was donating his paycheck to anybody. So, I mean, there are things. I don't even know. Anyway, those people make me laugh. I'm trying to think of any kind of social event, but in reality, that shit, if I had to vote for anyone, and I don't believe the system is good, like when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, and that's how I feel about politics. In my opinion, it's all a theater. All the world is a stage, as they say, and politics is theater for people who are more serious and don't watch movies, I guess. Politics is Hollywood for ugly people. That's what they say. But if I had to vote for somebody, I would vote for Maxime Bernier. whether or not the dude's going to actually do what he says he's going to do if he ever got into power, which is like unlikely. At the very least, he's got a platform that says something. Pierre's axe the tax and get rid of the carbon tax and no tax on new build houses. Who's building new fucking houses? The only people I know building new houses are immigrants coming from Europe. We have so many people here from Germany. They come here with their big bucks, or rich people from Ontario or BC. Nobody here really is building a new house. And in reality, like, let's use some common sense, as he says, common sense conservatives. If we're going to get rid of taxes, why not get rid of taxes on things that have already had taxes paid on them? Right? Okay, let's tax things when you buy them, like when you first build them. New build houses, all the materials have taxes on them. So you shouldn't have to pay taxes on them. When, like the new buyer, if I build a house and I pay all the taxes on the house, and I sell that house, the guy buying it shouldn't have to pay taxes again. It's already been paid tax on. Here's a stupid one. I don't know how it is in other provinces, but in Nova Scotia, I have to register my vehicle every 2 years. So I go to the government, I tell them it's my vehicle, and I pay them $226. And then in 2 years, I fucking do it again. Well, it's already in my name. So unless somebody else has registered it, you should be able to, for free, assume that it's still mine. I mean, come on, you want to be common sense? That's common sense. Or how about no tax on used cars? Right? Rich Joe Blow over there is fine paying taxes on a new Lexus. But when I buy it from him because he's getting a newer Lexus, I shouldn't have to pay tax on it. It's stupid. You want a common sense approach to shit? How about we stop paying taxes on used goods? You go to Value Village, you shouldn't have to pay tax. You go thrift shopping, you shouldn't have to pay tax. No taxes on used goods, right? No social money for immigrants. The way to think about this logically. You don't know me. I come to your house and I'm like, I'm broke. I don't have any money. So do you reach into your pocket, give me, enough money every month to pay my bills, and then put me on your medical plan? No, you don't. So why do we do it for millions of migrants, immigrants, regardless of where they come from? Afghanistan, New Mexico, I don't give a shit where they come from or what color their skin is. It matters not to me. They have never ever paid into our social programs like you and I and our grandparents and all the way back to the beginning of the payment into social programs. These people don't have any money in there. You should not be allowed to take out of any kind of social program until you have put in there for at least 10 years. That's just the way it is. And if I put money in there, then my money going in there covers my child if she needs social programs. So if you don't have family members covering, building into that, for the amount of people who take out, who are actually putting in, the number is small. So let's stop paying for migrants' medical bills, housing costs, food costs, child care, child tax credit, all this other shit. They're not entitled to that. They're welcome to come to Canada, get a job, and make a good living and pay taxes. But they're not entitled to take money out of social programs when they haven't put it in there. There's no logic there. You don't get your paycheck and then give it to me so I can pay my bills with it. That's stupid. There's no logic there. So smarten up. And deportation. Mass fucking deportation. If you've come to Canada and you've committed any kind of crime, you should just be booted out and banned for life. There's no need to spend our judicial money and lawyers' fees and wasted time in the court system for this shit. You have committed a crime, you're gone. That's it. You keep your fucking nose clean and you're out. This is basic shit, you guys. So Maxime Bernier is the only one whose platform essentially echoes everything that I just said. Pierre Polyev is a sissy. He's soft. He's not my guy. And if he's your guy, well, I don't know what to say about that. And if you're not voting for Max because you don't want to split the vote, just remember that nothing changes if nothing changes. Anyway, you know I could go on because I fucking ramble a lot, but I'm running out of time on my video, so I'm just going to let everybody go. I hope you guys are having a good 2025. Love each other, love yourselves, work on your mental health. Get off grid, grow your own food, arm yourselves, and make friends with like-minded people.